No No way. So, last week we had an absolute banger of a speedrun. We got to do Super Mario Odyssey's very first 56, and the poll comes in today, and you guys voted for another technical legend, Super Mario Sunshine Any Percent. Now, I think that, like, out of all the mainline Mario games, Sunshine is probably, like, next in line to Odyssey for being a technically precise and super interesting run to watch. But it has quite the interesting speedrun history, probably one of the most coveted speedrun histories of, like, any game ever. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. So as you can see here, this chart starts out like many other games that were released in the early 2000s. Like you got the usual kind of beginnings, right? But as you can see, it was a very, very popular game all the way through from like 2012 to 2017. This game was nuts. Super, super popular. This right here, 2014, was probably one of the most memorable speedrun discoveries in the history of speedrunning. This is when Gelato Beach Skip was discovered. But you can see that all of these dots are bundled up really, really tight, and then suddenly 2017 rolls around and we get this time from Nindide, the 1:14:40. It was not the first, but this 1:14:40 stood for 2 years. It was one of the longest standing Mario speedrun world records of all time, and it stood for 2 years. Nindide is basically the king of Super Mario Sunshine, and he reigned supreme for a very long time. And then there was a bit of a resurgence about 2 years ago, and some people brought it down again, but then Nindide comes in with this 1:13:44, and it sits there for another 2 years, and we finally have gotten a revision from JJsrl with this 1:13:30 that we're gonna watch today. If you're watching from YouTube, what's going on? Hi, how's it going? Hello there. Hi, hello. Did you know that we watch these live every Sunday? If you want to come watch us live, twitch.tv/dangers is the place to be. It's pretty cool. Also, if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, then you can get notifications for a poll that happens every single Saturday. You can choose what runs we do. And if we look at the poll, 207 of you wanted to have a say in what run we watch today. And that to me is insane. Super cool. All right. Let's go, baby. So the first thing you're going to notice when this run starts, his timer's starting at 5:40. The reason for that is because Sunshine has that much time worth of unskippable cutscenes at the beginning of the game. So as a community, they've collectively decided that they can use what's called a hacked file. And the hacked file allows for you to basically play the beginning of the game, this part here, the airstrip part, and then right after the airstrip part is done, it will, instead of watching all of those like courtroom cutscenes that, you know, exist in this game, they take a lot of time. So the hacked file is instead going to skip directly to the gameplay again. This was a unanimous community decision because, you know, doing runs of this game with the RNG that's involved and just the technical precision that's involved, it gets very tiring after a while to have to watch the same 7-minute segment of cutscenes over and over and over again just to get into the run. So the community decided it's okay. We don't have to do that. We can just get right back into the gameplay. Like, moving in this game it's a tough call. I want to say almost as fun as Odyssey. You know, Mario and Cappy together make for like a dynamic duo of movement, but Mario and Flood come pretty close second. You're gonna see a lot of crazy stuff. Like when I played this game casually, I did not think that you could move the way that you're gonna see JJ move in this game. Is there a lot of early RNG to reset too? So Sunshine, not only is it one of the most technically precise Mario games, but it is also the most RNG heavy. But the RNG typically resides within the bosses. So there's not a lot of early game RNG, but I will point out the RNG points later. They almost all have to do with bosses, with the exception of like, there's one level, I think. But one of the most frustrating things about running this game is that you can be as technically precise as you want to be, and you can be really good at moving. Sometimes the RNG just kind of makes it not work for you. So the backstory of this game, in order to beat the game, you have to go through all of the levels and beat the 7th episode of every level. It kind of appears as an open world concept, and it doesn't really give you any direction on how to get to the end of the game, but that is what it is. You need to beat the 7th episode of every single world. There are very, very few sequence breaks. This is actually one of them. It doesn't look like it. I mean, maybe going up the windmill like that kind of looks like a sequence break, but you can skip the very first shine of Bianco Village, which was just kind of sitting at the bottom of the bridge, and he kind of just skipped right by it. And there is one other world, only one other world that has sequence breaks. That relates to the Gelato Beach skip that we were talking about, but we'll get there when we get there. So this boss fight here, this is not RNG at all. This boss will always do the same thing. And he's using what's called spam sprays. It's hard to really understand what's going on when you look at this game, but you can kind of like press the right trigger, which is the spray button, and the jump button in like it's like a weird pattern, like a weird combo. It's hard to explain. explain. You kind of just have to like do it until it makes sense, until the feeling is right and you start seeing the spam sprays, but you're going to be seeing those all over the place because they're the best way to get the most water out in like a bunch of random different directions to clean things really fast and also to fill up Petey Piranha like that. Pinna Park, well, that's right. Pinna Park does have a sequence break too. Yeah, I forgot about that one. So I guess there's 3. This one's really minor. This one's like even a casual player could do it. He just got Bianco 2 instead of Bianco 1. But like already, like check out the movement in this game. Using the combination of Flood and Mario together to like slide through the stage. Like what is that? So this is one of those secret levels. The cool thing about these little secret levels is that Flood gets taken away from you. Kind of like the sub-areas in Odyssey where you have to give your hat up to the Scarecrow or whatever. It kind of takes away your lifeline, right? All right, check this out. So he is unlocking the Rico Harbor painting, I guess. But while he's doing that, he actually runs back into Bianco Village and skips the entire cutscene of like the little hut coming out of the goop. Just a minor thing. So this level here, Bianco 5, is the second fight with Petey Piranha, the rematch. Ooh, that movement was nice. There's 2 reasons that the RNG in this fight sucks. The first is that Petey Piranha flies around the village in kind of like a random pattern. Just kind of goes all over the place, no matter, like, you can't really control the direction that Petey Piranha goes. There is an optimal path, obviously, like a really short path that he can take, but he can also do like a full lap around the village and then you're just screwed. The other thing is that his attack phases have 2 different attacks. He can either open his mouth to spit out a bunch of goop, which is what you want, or he can throw tornadoes. And the tornadoes are basically just like 2 seconds of time loss and there's nothing you can do. So already the RNG factoring in quite a bit in this level. So no tornadoes there. That was really good first phase. So pretty short path by the looks of it. And then I think the third one, if he goes back the other way, that's probably like the optimal RNG. There's a whole bunch of different paths that Petey can take, but this one looks pretty solid so far. Yeah, that's actually really good. Those paths were really short. And no tornadoes. Nice. Yeah, and even then, still not the absolute best RNG you can get, but it's a pretty dang good path. Now, you're going to notice on his splits, I did say that we have to do level 7 for every single level, right? We have to do episode 7. He just did episode 5, and now he's going to leave for Gelato Beach. The reason for that is just because he's kind of got to go far out of the way to unlock Gelato Beach in the first place, but we'll do Bianco Hills, the rest of it, later. And now you're going to notice his splits also say Gelato 8 and Gelato 7, so I guess this is as good a time as any to start talking about Gelato Beach skip. So typically, traditionally, what you're supposed to do for all of the levels is you're supposed to play them from 1 through 7, all episodes until you get to 7, and then you can do Shadow Mario and you can move to the next world, right? Gelato Beach has a little bit of an interesting discovery, the really big one that I was talking about at the beginning. This discovery changed Sunshine. It saved like minutes of time. It was found out that there is the 8th shine in Gelato, which is the one after 7, actually kind of just sitting in plain sight, but there was no way to get it until you actually progress through the levels up to level 8, and then the Watermelon Festival begins, and that's the way you're supposed to normally get it. Instead, what you're going to see is JJ is going to do something a little cheeky here. He's going to grab a coconut, and he's going to bring it with him over to the Watermelon Hut here. And this, like, I'd be actually pretty surprised if you're a speedrun enjoyer and you've not seen this trick. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that so much. So instead of playing all of the episodes from 1 until 7, you can just get the 8th one, and now when he goes back into Gelato Beach, he can just select 7 and do the Shadow Mario. All right, check this movement out. If he does what I think he's gonna do. So, obviously, because that's a hub world, it doesn't really want you going out of bounds. There's invisible walls that go all the way up the cliffs like that. And also, another little quirk that makes this run so technical, if you go into first person while you're in the air, which is a thing you can do, by the way, which is kind of nuts, and if you do that, you can change the way that you're looking in the air. So, JJ utilizes that to his advantage by doing a spin jump, wall jumping, and then as soon as he's done wall jumping, he goes into first person so that he can curve his jump back around to the wall again and get another wall jump off of it. Also, yeah, all of that stuff that you just saw, that skip, that like jump off the invisible wall to get up on top of the Shine Gate, was to get to Pianta Village. We are not supposed to be here yet. Like, Pianta Village is probably one of the last levels that you're supposed to gain access to at all. But he just kind of wall jumped up the side of the stage, and now he's here. And that crazy wall jump thing that you saw is not the only way to get up here. It's the fastest way. But there has been a pretty well-known way to get up there for, you know, I think that even with a little bit of practice and just like a little bit of platforming skill, just about anybody could do it, but you are definitely not supposed to be here yet. So I love this level. This level takes away Flood right from the beginning, and you're supposed to, like, go underneath the level, but by doing a cheeky little damage boost here... Okay, yeah, made it work still. Oh, boy. That was a little bit sketchy, but the point is still the same. Instead of doing this level the intended way, where you're supposed to, like, go underneath the level and, like, do a set of monkey bars and stuff to get to a safe place in the middle of the village, you can kind of just do a cheeky damage boost and go right across, and then you win. So, little known fact, it's actually faster. Like, the big chain chomp will move faster if you're grabbing onto his little peg, and then JJ is kind of directing him in the direction that he wants to go, so that he can just dump him right in the hot tub like that. Do I think the hoverless world record will ever be broken? It's speedrunning. If there's a will, there's a way. All right, Pianta 5. This level needs a little bit of explanation, I think. This is another one, another funny one. I think Pianta Village is just like break the game consistently. So in order to do this shine, you're supposed to have Yoshi. I don't actually think that you have Yoshi yet because you're supposed to unlock him in Pinna Park. But we don't have Yoshi, and that's kind of a problem because Yoshi is what is required to clear some particular like spots of goop, including this one right here. You see this goop on the pipe? You don't have to worry about it if you can do that. Yep. No Yoshi required. Just clip into the tree, forehead. Now, this is actually a level with a lot of RNG in it. The Chuckster's here. Oh, he got the good throw. And he got the cycle. Wait. Whew. Oh boy, let's go. Clean. So there is a little bit of RNG in that level. That last Chuckster has to be standing in that corner for that trick to work. If he was any more forward in his like walking path, it would have been over for him. He would have had to wait for the Chuckster to walk all the way around, losing like anywhere between like 15 to 20 seconds. So JJ got really lucky, and you can see it in the time comparison. He's like 40 seconds ahead of a comparison that he made. He's on a roll. The RNG is working in his favor for this run. Okay, so Fetch has a little bit of a reputation for having like grinded out the IL of this particular level just like to an obsessive degree. And because like all of your technical skill can come into effect here, like all of the spam spraying, all of the backflip jumps and stuff like that. Everything that you can do platform-wise in this game kind of makes an appearance in this level. It's super fun to watch. There's so much going on that like me as a casual commentator can't even really explain it all. Over to Pinna Park. Now, Pinna Park, usually when you approach this little water ship over here, you get a cutscene, right? You don't want that. Cutscenes are slow. So instead, we're going to clip into this. And die on purpose. No cutscene. So what the frick happened there? I'll try to explain the best I can. So if you die on the same frame that you... Maybe I don't know if it has to be the same frame. It's probably the same frame. If you die on the same frame that you enter a cutscene, then the cutscene is just going to get obliterated. It's just going to be no bueno. You don't even need to watch it. So what he does is he goes out of bounds. And if you are on the ground in an out of bounds section for 1 second, aka 60 frames, then it kills Mario as like a safety feature. So he sets himself up in a very specific spot inside that house and then walks to the side, engaging that 60 frames of out of bounds, and dies on the right frame so that he can skip the cutscene. That's what's called Honey Skip. I don't know how Honey found it out. I don't know, but it's definitely something. And it's hard for a casual viewer to really know why that happens at all until you play the game and you're like, oh yeah, I guess there's a cutscene here, isn't there? Also, totally glossed over the fact that there was another cutscene skip. Pinna 1. Pinna 1 is the fight against like the big Bowser robot, right? By sliding into it like this, pausing, and quitting to menu at the same time as you engage, it also cancels the cutscene. So within like a minute's worth of time, we're skipping 2 cutscenes. This game is they tried to be very lore heavy, but speedrunners don't like lore. Story, bad. Lore, bad. Information, bad. Get it out. Happened again there too. Do you see that? He got the last hit on the Bowser and then immediately exited at the same time the cutscene was going to start, and it skipped the cutscene completely. Didn't go back to the menu, took him right to where he was supposed to be. All right, here's another one of those secret levels. And of course, none of this is RNG. JJ knows exactly how these platforms are going to go. Unfortunately, no matter what any runner has tried to do, I think the TAS can beat this original cycle, but nobody in RTA has been able to get that cycle fast enough to not have to wait at the beginning like that, unfortunately. Pinna 3. This is red coins, I think, right? It's always nice when a level comes by that is just like technical precision. And it's crazy the stuff that you can do in this game. Like, look at this. Using the top of the ship to like push himself up to get to the top red coin there. All on a cycle. keeping Mario at a height where he can like clip in and get the red coin and then pop up onto the top part of the platform instead of having to like dive around. Beautiful. That was perfectly executed. So now this is Pinna 4. Pinna 4 is you actually don't go into the park for this one. You have to try and heal all the sunflowers, these little yobby boys. The idea is that like you just have to get them to land in the sand so you can ground pound on them. But if you manage to collect them all in like one area, like maybe he's gonna do it. Yeah, okay, okay. Nice. One cycled it. Yeah, he got scammed by the spam spray RNG because he couldn't like wake them up all in the same way. I'm pretty sure they'll all behave the same way if you wake them up in the same way every time. But spam spray is exactly what it sounds like, right? So you're just sending all these water particles in different directions, and the game is just kind of sending them in whatever random direction that it chooses, just to add on to the RNG that this game already has, right? One of the most fundamental components of the game, which is the spam spraying, it just is random all on its own. Now, if you look at the splits, it says Pinna 4 and then Pinna 6. What's that about? Well, you're about to find out, actually. So going back to number 3, and that's because number 3 has these little enemies outside, these little, I don't even know what you call them, little beetles that are flying in the air. So we're going to use Yoshi. Yoshi's going to come along with us. We're going to throw the papaya into the loading zone and do that. And that lets us slip by the loading zone. One of the stews came into the out of bounds with us. We sprayed it with the purple goop, which lets the platform move in this direction, and then switched it to orange. And that's important because bringing an orange Yoshi to this little merry-go-round activates this secret level. That's what's called early Yoshi go-round, and it lets you skip Pinna 5 completely. You don't have to do Pinna 5 at all. And then the Yoshi go-round level is Pinna 6. Crazy stuff. The sequence breaks and the skips in this game are insane. Like, I do not know how people figured them out. Why do Pinna 3 and 4 first there? Because you don't get Yoshi until you do Pinna 4. That's why. That's a good question. So Pinna Park's all done. We're going to go over to Rico Harbor, which is the little hut that we cleaned off at the beginning. I love that strat, by the way. I don't know what makes it work, but just like you can do like a spin and then spray some water and you can just get some massive momentum. Like I said, the movement in this game is nuts. Almost as nuts as Odyssey. I don't know. Pretty close. What do you think? Better than Odyssey? Not so good? Yeah, they Beyblade. Let them rip. So no sequence breaks in Rico Harbor, but lots of slick movement. As far as I know, there's no RNG in Rico Harbor, so it's all just execution, starting with the blooper fight. Now, these fights are not RNG. Contrary to popular belief, when I was a kid, I used to have like a lot of difficulty with this fight. But as it turns out, if you like stand the correct distance away and spray him from there and then jump and dive, you can avoid any like counterattacks that he might make. Usually like when you pull on his snout, he'll swipe at you. But if you stand a certain distance away and you jump and dive after cleaning him off, then he just doesn't do that and the fights go really easy. Okay, Rico 2. You have to enter like the little sewer section underneath Rico Harbor. But right now it's like the water around it is covered in goop. So you're supposed to like take a squid and ride the squid in. Or you can just do that. That's fine too. Now, you're supposed to ride the squid here too, but instead JJ's gonna do this. I love this level so much. So this race, this race basically just has checkpoints. Think of it like Mario Kart with the gates that you're supposed to hit before you can register a lap, right? That's what JJ's doing. He's hitting all of the checkpoint triggers around the map without using the squid at all, just so that the race finishes and he gets his shine. I always thought that was so silly. Rico free? No, I'm not trying to say that with a butchered British accent. Runners do call this Rico free, and you're about to find out why. So this level, you're supposed to like use all of the cranes and the architecture and stuff to like basically do a maze through the bay, through the harbor. But if you're just really good at moving, you can also just jump from here and hover, and then you're in. Rico free. All right, we're going to play another game of like Where's Waldo, except it's Where's Shadow Mario? See if you can spot him, chat. I think maybe that's him, perhaps. And he's dead. I don't really understand what it is, but like, I can't do that. Whenever I try to do that, Shadow Mario is in Chile somewhere. Like, he runs away and he's gone forever. All right, so now we finally did a loop around the entire complex, the entire Delfino Plaza. So now we're back in Bianco Hills and we can do the last 2 stars and finish up here. The movement's so chaotic. All right, here's another secret. This secret is pretty nuts. This is one of the more punishing ones because it's really long. I don't know what just happened there, but I'm kind of about it. Nothing you can really do to skip this part. You just gotta wait it out. But the worst is like getting up past this block and then dying in the section that is upcoming from here. Oh. Okay. Okay. That was almost it. Ah! That's exactly what I mean, by the way. That could have been it. That would have been the whole run right there. It just would have been gone. All right, so Shadow Mario. That was not a fight. You cannot convince me that that was even a fight. Can we run that back? So now you see him, Shadow Mario right there, and done. So what you're not really seeing there is that he's using a spam spray. Like, he slides along the ground and, like, basically right up to Shadow Mario's face and then spam sprays, like, as he's getting up. So all of those water droplets from the spam spray are going directly into Shadow Mario at the same time. All right, now we go into Sirena. And Serena's the worst. Sirena is the most RNG-heavy level in the whole game because you have Sirena 1 and you have Sirena 5. Sirena 1 is the infamous Manta Ray fight. This used to give me nightmares as a kid. I used to hate this level. And it's the bane of speedrunners' existences because, yeah, it's RNG. It's the classic trope of, like, it starts out big, but the more you hit it, it splits into multiple parts. So the only thing that you can really control as a speedrunner is if you break the big manta into its tiniest components. If all of the mantas are the tiniest size, then they start coming towards you. So that's what JJ's going to start doing here, is he's going to be focusing all of his efforts on the bigger sized manta rays until they're all the smallest size, because as soon as they're the smallest size, then they'll start coming towards him and make it a little bit easier. But you basically have no control over where they go before that. So yeah, just a lot of spam spraying. He actually got it done really fast. Yeah, you see when they changed colors, that was when they started coming towards him. And he got that first phase done so fast. I have never seen it done that fast. Sirena 2 is a secret level again. This is one of the easier ones. But getting in is kind of fun. Just a bunch of spin jumps and wall jumps. They're so confident with their movements too. Like, when I say this is one of the easier secrets, it's kind of like, it's a bit of an understatement because, like, look at this movement. Like, it takes a real pro to be able to move like that in this game. So you're supposed to, like, go through the hotel, like, in and out of rooms and do, like, a maze. But instead what JJ's going to do is bring this banana and just clip into it instead. Just completely casual about it too. Like, it's just an everyday thing. Just bring the banana upstairs and clip into the pool forehead. So this is also a really crappy level. Like, doing this casually sucks. On either side of this room, you can't see them because they're off screen, but there's like these roulette wheels and you're supposed to spray water at them and the panels flip when you hit them with water, but they're super finicky. If you get 2 of them right and you're trying to get the one in the middle or something, like, it's very easy for water particles to, like, spray off and, like, hit the other ones and they keep spinning. Like, I hated this level as a kid. But instead of doing the slots, you can kind of just do this instead. You just jump up to the top like that, invisible platform to land on, and just dive over top, and then you're in. That jump, oh man. Is he gonna go for it? No, he's gonna... So there is a slightly faster one that saves like 0.5 seconds that you do, and you like slide off of the block and get like all this crazy momentum. But, whew, I mean, no matter what you do there, it's going to be flashy. That was really flashy. Sirena 5. So this is the last episode with like significant amounts of RNG because we're going to be doing another boss fight here. And it's literally a roulette boss fight. So the mechanics of this fight is this is King Boo. Anybody who's played this game probably has very vivid memories of this game and this fight. Licks the slots, they spin around. He's waiting for fruits. He got fruits on the first go. That's good. That's a good start. Now, basically what's going to happen is he's not going to be able to get fruits again right away. You need 3 fruits. You're not going to be able to get fruits on the next one. No matter what happens, you will never get fruits twice in a row. So he's going to activate the slots again. It's going to give him something random. And as soon as it does, as soon as that thing pops up, he's going to run into the bottom of the stage to make King Boo disappear right away so that he can get the slots going again. Now he's hoping for fruits, and he gets fruits. That's good. That's really good RNG so far. Like, this is basically optimal RNG that you can hope for at this point. Same thing's got to happen, though. You got to get the cycle going one more time. You're not going to get fruits on this one. So, going to spawn whatever. Make King Boo go away, and now you're hoping for fruits again. We need fruits. Bless in the chat for fruits. Survey says fruits.
Yeah, I'm not okay.
I'm not okay, he says. Let's fucking go. That's perfect RNG for this game. This fight, perfect. He got such good RNG the entire way through this run. That is insane. Something that I should note, if you look at the splits underneath here, he was originally comparing to a run with what he called bad early game. He's now comparing against his PB. He's almost 20 seconds ahead of his PB now. But it all comes down to execution at this point. Once he's done Sirena, he's got Noki Bay and then the end. But Noki Bay is very technically precise. So it's not over yet. I mean, we know the outcome, but it's not over yet. This is just spam spray the video game. Gotta clean the beach. Now, he's playing on the Japanese version. Something interesting about this level is that the Japanese version is a lot more strict when it comes to cleaning this beach. In the US version, you can leave like a sizable amount of goop on the beach and the game will reward you. With the Japanese version, you have to clear essentially all of it or else the timer will still keep going. So you have to be... Japanese is faster for... Like, you can see that there was like nothing on the beach left, but the timer was still going. You have to be like really precise with cleaning the beach off in the Japanese version. But the Japanese version is faster just through text and stuff, I think. When I was a kid, Noki Bay was like my least favorite level. I liked the music, but the eel made me upset. It's a very vertical level, and so I've kind of garnered a newfound respect for Noki Bay after watching speedruns of it, because like, look at this movement. The ability to get up to the top of the level that fast. Is this the one that I think it is? So another vertical climb up the level, just making it look easy. You're supposed to do a whole bunch of crazy stuff in this level, but instead what you're going to do is grab this spring and put it in the wall, and then pushes you through the wall and into here. Why play the level normally? All right, so knowing that the underwater physics of this game, using flood underwater and like moving around and stuff, is terrible, makes this level even more interesting and more impressive. So there's actually a lot going on in this level. This is the eel level. This is the reason that Mare Bay is poisoned, or Noki Bay is poisoned in the first place, because this eel has a toothache. Sunshine has a lot of like feel-good, teaching kids good values things in it, so I guess there's also a level where you have to brush your teeth. But anyway, so there's actually going to be a lot going on here. You're going to see him clean off the 4 teeth in the front right away, because nothing really happens if you do. But for each of these corner ones, you're going to see him come out. I think he cleans off the gold one just a little bit. But after you clean one off, you come out because he's going to try and chomp you down. Stays in the lips to stay out of the mouth. He's going to do that 4 times. And then right as you're cleaning off the last one, taking damage actually skips a cutscene, sort of. The cutscene is still playing. Basically, you're supposed to be able to see this from like top-down camera, and the eel like recedes back into the hole. And after that happens, Mario gets spawned like way up at the top of the level, and you have to like sink back down really slowly. But by taking damage right before the fight is over, you get to keep control of Mario, and you get to keep him where he is for some reason, so you can just skip all of that. Hey guys, did you know that Hazard is a marketable plushie now? My Twitch chat is telling you guys to buy the plush. Did you know that the emotes of my Twitch chat got turned into a marketable plushie? That's right, he's adorable. If you want a cute purple bird in your house, then get it, gamer, get it. It's on pre-order right now. All right, this level is nuts. Noki 6 is probably the hardest secret in the game, and also just check out the movement to get there. Nuts, right? Now watch this secret. I'm just gonna watch it. I'm not gonna say anything. No no way. Dude, my heart would be beating like 1,000 miles a minute. There's no way he just pulled that off under pressure like that. That is insane. So now that we have beaten episode 7 of every single level in the game, this happens. Shadow Mario has flooded the city and is retreating into the volcano, Corona Mountain in the background. So now we just got to give chase. Now, the movement in Corona Mountain is also very satisfying. Check this out. This section's really awkward because like you got to avoid the spikes. You got to make sure that your water hits all the fire platforms. That'll do. And then this boat. Anybody who's played this game hates this boat. The boat is the most infuriating thing in this entire game, and that actually says quite a lot. But JJ makes it look easy. Now check this glitch out. There was basically a rocket storage discovered. You're going to see that he activates the rocket twice without it doing anything, and then just magically floats into the clouds like that. Instead of like landing on all the clouds and trying to like navigate the stage and all that, he just He just does that. All right, check it out. This is like, I don't know. Sunshine has a lot of redeeming qualities. Its final boss is not a redeeming quality. This is all you have to do. You just have to go around to each platform, avoid the goop. The goop has killed runs before, and ground pound these 5 spots. He's got the focus face on. All he's got to do is clutch it out. Just one more hit. He got gooped. And time. He's like freaking out in the background.
It's done. It's done. It's over. It's done. It doesn't matter anymore. I can quit. I'm done. It's over. Oh my god.
If he didn't get gooped, it would be a major improvement. Dude, my homie, my G, he improved by 18 seconds in a game that has RNG that kills every run. That was a major improvement. Super Mario Sunshine, any percent in 1:13:30. I've seen so many emotional pop-offs the last couple of weeks. Tyrone last week and then JJ today. There's a lot of emotions in these runs, chat. You don't, like, if you don't know speedrunning, you don't understand. Like, Twitch is where speedrunning lives. Because, you know, on YouTube, you're just watching me react to this one run that this one guy had. And you're like, oh yeah, he played a game pretty good, I guess. But like, in order to make it look like this, tens of thousands of hours go into this. And that's why there's so much emotion packed into that, for that exact reason. If you're watching from YouTube, thanks for watching. Over here somewhere, scrolling on this side, are my Patreon supporters. If you like the YouTube content, these Patreon supporters help keep it going. Thank you to all the people on Patreon that keep the YouTube videos going. And if you want to watch the runs live with us, make sure you visit twitch.tv/dangers. We do this on every Sunday, so come stick around. Come hang out. We'd love to have you. And also subscribe to the YouTube channel and tell your friends. If you think that you have a friend who would be interested in speedrunning content, you tell them about it, and you guys can watch world records together. How fun would that be? That was a fun one. Until next week, we'll see you next time.